You know, when I was a kid, I used to love watching Gilligan's Island. I mean, talk about a cast of characters. You had the Professor and Skipper and Thurston Howell III and Lovey. And there was Ginger and Mary Ann and Gilligan. One of the things that I found so captivating about the show was that you could see them at their best and you could see them at their worst. I mean, sometimes the Professor was sort of arrogant. And sometimes, you know, Skipper could come unglued and go on tilt. Sometimes the Howells were really snobbish in their affluence. And Ginger could be terribly self-absorbed. And, of course, Gilligan, well, he was just Gilligan. And Mary Ann, well, she was pretty much perfect to me when I was 12 years old. But, I mean, you saw the best and you saw the worst of this group of people. And, you know, that's a lot like the Bible. The Bible presents to us a cast of characters, and we get to see them at their best, and we also get to see them at their worst. There is something very real about the Bible and the people contained in it. The Bible gives us the upside and the downside of people and their lives, real lives. You know, if all we saw was the upside, we wouldn't be able to relate, we wouldn't be able to connect. But we see the downside too. And I think that helps us identify with these people and relate to these people. Apparently, God values realness. You know, many of God's characters actually had to deal with something that's incredibly real, and that is depression. You know, it's amazing to me. Moses dealt with depression. David kind of cratered into a couple different periods of depression. One time after a great spiritual awakening, Jonah actually hydroplaned into depression. I mean, almost without exception, it seems that depression is part of the human experience. And so where does it come from? And how do we deal with it? Today we're going to connect with a character named Elijah. We're going to look at his life, we're going to look at the upside, and we're going to look at the downside. There is an incredible realness to the story of Elijah. He had real passions and real emotions. He was optimistic, he was visionary, he was courageous, he often saw the good in people. He was used by God in great ways. And yet for a period of his life, he ended up marooned on Depression Island. So, sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip